Okay, I'm going to take the garter slip chain panel and show you how to make seamless booties. The only seam you're going to have is the connection of the panel in the back. That's it. Otherwise, this is seamless. And I'm going to show you how to do that. First off, if you're making this exact adult size booty, you'll need to do 15 sets of the garter slip chain. And this is what you should have. Now, if you're doing custom sizing, you'll just need to go in and do however many that makes the inches you want. And then you'll need to go in and count the bridge between your ridges. So for instance, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. And then you'll see 31. We can fudge that a little bit on the 30 peg loom. And so I'm using the 30 peg loom, but again, you can adjust it for a custom size fitting. If you've purchased some previous patterns of mine, it's not difficult to go in and do the bottom half without the cuff of the booty to incorporate the sizing. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in and start attaching our cuff to the loom. Now, because we want the seam to go into the back, because people don't see the back, we're doing the heel on the front half of the loom. So here's your starting point. We're doing it on the front half. And our general halfway point is going to be 7 pegs over. So we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So what you want to do is you want to take your seam facing you and the right side facing out. You're going to push that up into the middle of the loom. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And your seam's here. And I'm just going to have my seam touching the 8th peg. Now here's where you're going to take your crochet hook and you're going to find your first bridge. So here's your purl, here's your first bridge. You're going to stick the crochet hook through, and I'm using a size H, but you just need any hook that'll go in and grab and pull the yarn through. We're not actually going to be crocheting or anything. So you're going to take the end and you're going to pull it through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Put it on there. Okay, then you're going to take your next bridge, which is right in here, between those two, grab some yarn, pull through, place on the loom on the next peg. Find your next bridge, which is right in here. Look at this a little closer. Here's your next bridge, right in there. See, just between your 2 pegs. You're going to grab the yarn, pull through, and put onto the peg. And if you're not seeing the bridge, you'll notice that there's 2 ridges there. If you stick the crochet hook between those, there's your bridge. It shows up. Pull some yarn through, put it on the next peg. And you're going to do this all the way around. Okay, and I've made it all the way around, making sure that every single peg I have added a loop to. And as you can see, I have a little gap in here. And then all you'd have to do is send through that last bridge, pull through, and you can put it on your original first peg. Now what I like to do is tie my extra strand off with my original tie off from my panel here. Okay, at this point, this is going to be your back. So, as you can see, this is my back. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to start knitting, and we're going to knit flat for 4 rows. And then when you go to do your 5th row, you're going to stop here. This is going to be your new starting point. So you're going to flat knit around 1, 2, 3, 4, and then all the way around, stop here is your 5th. So it's not going to be a full 30 on your 5th row. This is your new starting point. So go ahead and pause the video and complete your 5 rows of knit, and then stop here on that 5th row so that this is your new starting point, and then we will get started on the heel. Okay, I've completed my 5 rows and I've stopped here at my new starting point. Now I'm going to do the heel, which is a series of short rows and wraps and turns. So what we're going to do is we're going to knit over 14 pegs. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5. Then wrap and turn. So you wrap behind the next peg and turn and go back the other direction. You're going to knit 13, 2. You're going to wrap and turn the next peg. Then you're going to knit over 12, or just before the last wrap and turn, so that you can wrap the next peg in front of your last wrap and turn. So there's just before our last wrap and turn. You're going to wrap and turn the next peg. Knit over to the other side to just before the last wrap and turn. And what you're going to do is you're going to continue this process of wrap and turn until you have 4 pegs in between your wraps and turns that have single loops on them. So go ahead and pause the video and continue this wrap and turn process until you have 4 pegs with single stitches in between wraps and turns on both sides. Okay, I have completed my wraps and turns and have stopped right here. You can see, so I wrapped and turned my last time and stopped right at knit 4. Okay, and you'll see that there are wraps and turns over here, and wraps and turns over here with a 4 single stitches in between them. Now we want to start adding back in our wraps and turns. And so what you're going to do is you're going to knit 5. There's 4. And then add that wrap and turn back in. And then you're going to turn and knit 6. and add the next wrap and turn back in there. See? And then knit 7. And then knit 8. And you'll continue doing this until you have no more wraps and turns on your pegs. Okay, at this point you're just going to knit all the way around, add in that last wrap and turn, and this will complete your heel section. I will let you know that you're going to do the exact same thing we just did in the heel section for the toe section. So I'm fixing to give you instructions to basically finish up the booty. Okay, at this point we have just completed a heel, as you can see there. Now what you're going to do is you're going to knit circularly for a total of 25 rows. And then after you do the 25 rows, you're going to repeat the exact same thing that we just did with the heel on this side again. And that creates your toe, which is here. So what you're going to do is you're going to pause the video and you're going to complete the 25 rows through here. Then you're going to do the same heel section here, up here, doop doop, and you should have an opening here that's needs to be closed up. This is a toe up booty, and what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to go in and do a Kitchener bind off that looks to where you can't even tell where I've done the connection. So go ahead, pause the video, complete your 25 rows, repeat the heel section again, and then I will show you how to close up the toe from there. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do the Kitchener cast off or bind off for your booties. And we're going to pick up the back 15, and I'm going to use a stitch holder. So I'm going to pick up the stitch, put it on the stitch holder. Okay, and here's my last one, and I'm literally just going to pick it up and put it on. Moved our 15th stitch here over one. We're going to start adding all these stitches back as we go around. So here's that one. Put it back on the next one. Here's my last one. You're going to cut a really long tail, and then you're going to thread your crafter's needle and show you how to go about doing the Kitchener bind off weave. Now this technique was figured out by Brenda Myers, and in her pattern, Side Street pattern, she also shows how to add in and do this with purling method. I'm just showing you the knit method. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to take your yarn here that you cut the long tail on, and you're going to go through the bottom stitch like you're doing a knit and pull through. Then you're going to go through the top stitch and you're going to do a knit going through the top and pull through. Then you're going to go through the bottom like a purl with the second peg on the top stitch like that. Then you're going to go back to the previous peg and the bottom stitch, and you're going to go up and through like a purl. So there is your knit, knit, purl, purl. Now we're going to do our knit, knit again. So you're going to go in and go and do a knit through the bottom stitch and pull through, a knit through the top stitch, pull through. Then you're going to do your purl, purl, then you're going to move to the next peg and you're going to purl the top stitch, go back to the previous peg and purl the bottom stitch. Then you're going to do your knit, knit, so you're going to take your bottom stitch and you're going to knit it, sending the needle through the top. Then you're going to knit the top stitch, so send it through the top. Then you do your purl, purl. You're going to send it up from the bottom on the top stitch. Then you're going to go back to the previous peg and send the needle up through the bottom and pull. Then you're going to knit again, the bottom stitch, then you're going to knit the top stitch, and then purl the next peg over top stitch, then go back to the previous peg and purl the bottom stitch. You're going to continue this pattern all the way to over here. You continue it until you can't do the weave anymore. Then you're going to go back and you're going to tighten up your bind off. And I'll show you how to do that real quick. Starting from here. And what you want to do is you want to pull as snugly as you can. Then go in and pull the next one. And you know that's going to be your next one. You just want to tug on it a little to find out which end you need to pull. There's your next one. Looks like that one. Ends need to be pulled. And I find it's easier to do this on the loom than it is to figure it out once you take it off the loom. You can easily see where your next stitch is to be pulled. You pull it nice and snug. Now once you tighten up all your stitches after you're done, you'll just take them off the loom and you'll stretch them out. and then you're done. You'll make another booty just exactly the same way, and you're done. So that's how you go about making a booty with a flat panel attached.